It is the year 9 AD. Emperor Augustus is 71 years old. He has ruled the world for 4 decades. He has conquered Egypt. He has tamed Gaul. He has turned Rome from brick to marble. He is a living god. But tonight, he is alone in his palace, and he is screaming. According to the historian Suetonius, the emperor was so shattered by the news that arrived from the north that he stopped shaving. He stopped cutting his hair. For months he wandered the halls, banging his skull against the walls, shouting the same 6 words over and over. Quintilii ver, legiones rede. Quintilius Varus, give me back my legions. What news could break a god? 3 days of horror in a German forest, 3 legions wiped from existence, 15,000 men turned to bones. And the man who did it? The Romans trained him themselves. His name was Arminius. He was a prince of the Cherusci, a tribe from the dark forests east of the Rhine. He was sent to Rome as a hostage when he was just a boy. But Rome did not treat him like a prisoner. They treated him like a project. The Romans gave him a military education. They made him a citizen. They gave him the rank of equus, a knight. They thought they were building a loyal ally, a vassal king who would bring Germania to its knees. They were building a weapon, and the weapon was about to turn. In 7 AD, Arminius returned to Germania. He was sent to serve under a new governor, a man named Publius Quintilius Varus. On the surface, Arminius became Varus's right hand. He advised him. He translated for him. He smiled at him. But under the surface, Arminius was doing something impossible. He was uniting the German tribes, the Cherusci, the Marsi, the Chatti, the Bructeri, tribes that had hated each other for centuries. He brought them together with a single message: hate Rome more than you hate each other. To understand the disaster, you have to understand Varus. He was not a soldier, he was a politician. He had been governor of Syria. He was known for one thing: cruelty. He crucified rebels. He sold whole populations into slavery. He thought fear was the only language the Germans understood. When he arrived in Germania, he treated the free tribes like subjects. He taxed them, he flogged them. He acted as if the forest already belonged to Rome. Arminius watched this, and he smiled, because he knew something Varus didn't. The Germans weren't broken, they were waiting. In the autumn of 9 AD, Varus was marching his army back to winter quarters on the Rhine. 3 legions, the 17th, the 18th, and the 19th. 15,000 veteran soldiers, plus cavalry, plus camp followers, women, children, merchants. It was a city on the move, and it was strung out for miles. Then a message arrived, a rebellion far to the north. A tribe had risen up. Varus needed to take a detour, go through the forest, crush them quickly. The message was a lie. Arminius had written it. One man tried to warn him, a Cheruscan noble named Segestes. He told Varus, "Arminius is a traitor. Arrest him now." But Varus laughed it off. He thought Segestes was just jealous. He told the man to leave. Then Arminius left too. He said he was going to gather reinforcements for the Romans, but when he rode into the forest, he didn't gather allies for Varus. He gathered his army, and he closed the trap. The Germans did not fight like Gauls. They did not form a line and charge. They fought like ghosts. For 3 days they hit the Roman column. They would appear, throw a volley of javelins, and vanish into the trees. The Romans couldn't fight back. Their shields were waterlogged. Their bowstrings were soaked. The forest stole their armor, their formation, their hope. On the 3rd day, the Romans reached Kalkriese hill, a narrow pass. A wall of earth blocked the road. To the north, a swamp. To the south, a hill covered in German warriors. It was a slaughterhouse. Varus realized there was no escape. He would not be taken alive. According to Roman custom, he fell on his sword. His officers followed him. The men did not have that luxury. They were butchered. 15,000 to 20,000 Romans died in 3 days. The survivors were sacrificed to the German gods. Their bones were nailed to the trees. The 17th, 18th, and 19th legions were erased from history. Rome never used those numbers again. When the news reached Rome, the city froze. Augustus, the man who had turned the Mediterranean into a Roman lake, was terrified. He feared Arminius would march on Gaul, on Italy, on Rome itself. He ordered all Germans and Gauls expelled from the city. He posted guards at the gates to stop panic. The Romans retaliated. Germanicus, the emperor's nephew, marched into Germania and slaughtered villages. He buried the bones of the dead. He recaptured 2 of the lost eagles, but he never crossed the Rhine to stay. After Teutoburg, Rome gave up. They built a wall, the limes. The Rhine became the edge of the civilized world. Germania remained free, wild, lost. And Arminius? He did not live to see old age. He won his freedom. He drove out the Romans. He became the undisputed king of the Germans. But freedom has a price. Arminius wanted to become a true king. His own people, the Cherusci, hated the idea of a single ruler. They were free men. They bowed to no one. In 21 AD, 12 years after his greatest victory, Arminius was murdered by his own family. His own relatives stabbed him in the back. The Roman historian Tacitus wrote his epitaph. He said he was the liberator of Germany. He defied Rome in the height of her glory. He remained unconquered in war. But here's the secret. The forest remembers. In Germany today, there is a statue of Arminius. The Germans call him Hermann. It is one of the biggest monuments in Europe. He is pointing his sword not at Rome, but at the trees where he buried the legions. If you want to know what happened to the 17th, 18th, and 19th legions, go to Kalkriese. Stand in the mud, listen to the wind, and if you hear a man screaming for his legions, keep walking.